the suppression of the use of marijuana and of the forces lurking behind it are the most important jobs this department is now engaged in. In 1930, the records on marijuana in the Washington office of the Narcotics Division scarcely filled a small folder like this. Today, they fill cabinets.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Coloradians and everyone that's smart enough to listen from the outside.
One of the most amazing plants we've ever discovered.
The pot party, the trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a new week of Storm That Petite. Well, your host, as always, it's me, Kip, and across the screen, I got my boy, CB. CB, how you doing?
Doing great. The weather is nice. It's March Madness. Just craziness is upon us this month.
Dude, it's awesome. You know, the Congress just voted to keep daylight savings time right after the jump forward, so we could technically be locked into sunnier days throughout. It'd be the only fucking thing in history Congress has done to actually benefit the patrons of the country. And we have a gauntlet month, Chris. The weather's still crisp enough for those that like to ski, but it's almost that golf season for us unathletic bastards that like to smoke pot and drink on the course. Shout out to Kip. We got a huge bracket that's buzzing on our page with tons of stuff dueling it out. But this is also peak season for patio vibes and sports bars. And so we need to give everybody a little bit of a rundown, not only about our March Madness bracket, Chris, but also just about what's going on this week, what's been going on this weekend. Did anybody go to Denver Restaurant Week? Things like that. But before we get into that, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors. Chris, this is a true testimonial for Seed & Smith. I took 2 pins and 3 carts down to New Orleans last week for my 5-day bender. I gave one of the pins away as a thank you to somebody who gave me something in return. I was like, you're going to love this pin. I was like, just let me know what you think. I got a message 45 minutes later, blitzed. They're like, this thing strokes. I mean, it's epic. It's the most reliable pin I've had to date. It doesn't smell in your bag. It doesn't leak when you hit altitude. And it's the old reliable. You won't overwash it because it's got a little bit of weight to it when it's in your pocket. I am hyping it. I am hyping the Seed & Smith dart pen because it's a darty. It's a daytime party. Get the dart pen from Seed & Smith. And obviously they have great flour, great wax, and you can find all of their products at their 2 locations, the one on Oakland Street and the one on Hecla Way up in Louisville. But you can also go to www.seedandsmith.com to see where across the whole metro you can find these wonderful products that we speak so highly of. And second off, our other sponsor of the podcast this week is Callie's Cannabis. To the surprise of nobody, we love our friends over at Callie's. They're, heavily entrenched in the local community. They give back in all sorts of ways, whether it be cannabis events, whether it be marketing ways, or even just discounts to the neighborhood and to the regular users. They have deals of the day. They have a rewards program, and they have 3 locations across the metro that do not quit. They have featured products as well as featured brands every month, so you can get discounts depending on what may be your vibe, or if you pick what day of the week you go in there, they have a deal every day of the week. It's fantastic, and we're excited to be partnered with Callie's for the March Madness bracket as well. Thank you so much to Big Earn, Miss Callie, Charles, and the whole family. We love working with y'all. All right, Chris, I didn't say a cuss word and I didn't belittle anybody in that ad read. That's got to be our best one in weeks.
Yeah, that was solid. Great stuff. And a great testimonial.
That's a real one. I didn't even lie. Shout out to our drug dealer in New Orleans. They loved it. Okay, so let's talk a little dirty. Obviously, for those that follow our social media, you saw that we released the bracket. It was on the Explore page of Instagram for March Madness. We are buzzing fucking everywhere, Chris. We have big news next week, but this week we have news as well. And so I wanted to get you on the line today to talk March Madness, not just basketball, as you just mentioned, you have the Booger Eaters winning it all, but also our March Madness. What matchups? Who do you have going through? Who is your champion at the end of the month? I'm starting with you, Chris. Who do you like? Who has a good draw?
I mean, Damn. There's so many great spots on here. Like, first of all, let me just say it's incredible to look at this and realize this is all in our city. Like I mean, it's fucking, it's just astonishing.
And the worst part is we literally omitted some that didn't even make it in the top 8 for said regions. And we obviously had 10 teams from each, and 2 of them were play-ins last week for those that are listening and been following along. But it was impossible to narrow it down to 8 per ones. And I want to give a shout out to some new restaurants that I didn't make it on the list. Carmine Leonardo's Deli in Lakewood. Everyone knows I've been sucking them off for their deli sandwiches. Fantastic Italian deli. Apple Blossom, one of our favorite new restaurants that just opened up inside the hotel downtown, the sister restaurant of Coperta. They classic omission, but a fantastic spot. So while it was impossible, damn near impossible to pick 64. So Chris, tell me, who is your champion of the 64?
The champion? You want me to just go ahead with that?
I mean, who do you have? Yeah, who do you have cutting down the nets?
I've got, well, here's a few sleepers I'm thinking.
Okay, let's hear it. Upset.
So one, I'm thinking Jerusalem Cafe. I think that's going to get a surprising amount of votes because it's just like a good late night, awesome spot open. Falafels, fantastic, just good stuff.
But if it runs into Brixton it's a buzzsaw. That place, and we had to make that one the European Mediterranean / region, because Brixton had to be in here, and we didn't have French influenced restaurants. We're not New Orleans, so we made that one kind of a Euro vibe. But obviously, they're kind of everywhere. But I do love Jerusalem. It is possibly the best late night option on there besides Pony Up.
I think, okay, so, yeah, and you mentioned one of my sleepers. So Brixton, I think, is going to go far in the dance. I also want to give a shout out to Taki Sushi, which I think, but that's going up against the Sushi Den.
Yeah, so, but it's, it could go any way because obviously so many people suck the dick of Sushi Den, but there's actually Taki is a sleeper giant. It's amazing. Oh, and they have a fusion sushi menu over there. And with the second location open in the Highlands, they may have a little bit more of a brand than the community knows about right now.
Yeah. And I got to say, I really think La Diabla is going to go far.
Yeah, I mean, for those that don't know La Diabla, I've been telling y'all for weeks, stop listening to those stupid fucking influencers that tell you to go to Bar Taco or to Federales. Go eat truly, authentic Mexican foods or, Hispanic varietals, like the pozole from there, the Tacos Marlene crowd on Federal. We have some gems in there, but because these assholes on social media keeps fellatioing whomever the PR rep gives free tacos to, it drives me crazy. So I'm glad you said that.
You can get better tacos there, better prices. They've got a fuck ton of mezcal, and Thursdays is 2-for-1 pozole, and that shit, one serving can feed a family. That's nuts.
Yeah.
So
this may be a coming out party for them. When coaches do really well out of mid-major schools and get a job at places like USC, shout out Dunk City, that guy from Florida Gulf Coast. People like that, that's what we're talking about. Like La Diabla, make some waves in those early rounds, and people are going to be like, I got to try this out. That's what this bracket's here for. It's to tell people to stop listening to OCN Eats and those other douchebags and to try out some really dank foods.
Yeah. And man, let's go. I'll go with Final Four.
Okay, give me your Final Four like we've asked from everybody. I'll
give my Final Four. So I am going to go. I'm going to go with Jan Wonton.
Okay, you got
getting up there.
They have a very strong social media presence, so they very well
out there out of the top left of the bracket. Let's go down to the bottom left. I'm going to go. Let me go. Fuck it. I'm going to pump La Diabla. That's my underdog team coming out on the scene, going to make some fucking noise out there with some buzzer beaters. And then moving over to the top right. I got to go. I got to go with Tavernetta.
Yeah, I mean, you're biased, obviously, from working there. I'll allow it. And then who do you have in the bottom left?
The bottom, let's see. I am going to go. Damn, that's a tough one too. Fuck. I love me some Annette. They're the number one seed going in there, but I think Brixton. I think Brixton is going to make it to the Final Four. Because I mean, and this isn't like, I mean, you got to equate everything into this. Brixton's got a strong bench with RiNo Yacht Club next door.
Man, I mean that is a 1-2 punch that is so good. I like your Final Four, Chris. I'm proud of that Final Four.
So you got Brixton, Diablo, Jan Wonton, and Tavernetta. That's all I'm going to give for now, Final Four.
I fucking love it. And I'm going to remain unbiased of the 64 teams since I technically picked them. With obviously you helped because you know better foods than I do, but I'm not going to tip my hand as to who I'm cheering for or who I think comes out of it, because we have a long way to go. And so I want to be impartial, but I like where your head's at. And I love that you have that 4 or 5 sleeper coming out, Chris. I mean, that's gold. That's gold quality stuff right there.
When are we going to announce the winner of the dance?
So every day we're going to do one region. So today, for those that are listening, you may have seen it on our Instagram page that today's was the Asian region and the barbecue region. And then we'll just kind of work our way around, and we'll do it for 3 weeks. And in 3 weeks, we should have all of our winners.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be fucking fun. So we've got that. Obviously, go get in the game. We will we'll cut off the votes for who can win the care package for guessing properly. But Chris has just thrown his name in the ring, so y'all better get out there and vote. It'll be a good time. So 3 weeks from now, we'll have a winner. And next week, Chris, we got our dinner. Are you fired up about that?
I am, and I wish I could join you guys, but I'll be giving some shout outs to some Santa Fe spots next week.
Ooh, hell yes. That's what I'm talking about. Our friends to the south with just slightly inferior green chili. I dig it. Well, you have to say that as a Colorado podcast.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, that next dinner, I wish I could attend. I'll obviously be at the next one because there's going to be another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
well, Chris, we got a loaded gauntlet the next couple weeks. Next week's guest is Chiba Chews. Then we got the Temple Party for the Rooster Magazine THC Classic. And we're right around the corner from Flora's 420 party in Civic Center Park.
Ayo.
So we've got a lot of fun shit coming down the pike, including huge news that you may see later this week on social media. So it's a really big gauntlet we've got coming down the pike.
Stay tuned.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Chris. So we've talked a little bit about March Madness. We teased the dinner series for next week. We've talked about the Rooster Classic. If you want to buy tickets, go check that out. I think the last thing to do is, what did you do while I was out of town? I mean, I'm sure you masturbated with a belt around your neck per usual, but what else was going on? Did you catch any Denver restaurant week? Did you eat well, ski well? What happened? What'd I miss?
You didn't miss much. It was I kind of kept a low key weekend, but when was it? Saturday was so nice. Went out and we actually went to Edgewater Public Market. Hadn't been there in a minute.
Ooh, the Conjo?
Yeah, and it's great. Like we had a couple of great drinks out there sitting out on the patio. They had like a little band out there. It was actually super packed. But yeah, got some tasty food in there. All those food stalls are great.
Yeah, they've had a little bit of turnover. There used to have that lobster place in the corner. COVID may have clipped its wings, and the fact that lobster sucks. Sorry, golf guy.
Yeah.
Give me the
we went with some arepas.
Oh, I thought you said
No, didn't say that. I know what you're thinking.
I was gonna be like, what friends did you go with? Excuse me.
And then just watch some b-balls and got outside.